Hi YouTube, it's January 25th, 2012, and it's my 60th day of my 50th year on the planet. So, what I want to talk about today is something that I wanted to share like last week, and I want a little bit of feedback on this if I can get some, but I want to tell you a story real quick about what happened. I have a little piece of property where I have a little house. And on that little property is a trailer that I had a lot of my stuff stored in. I lived in that house for 10 years before I got married. And what happened was a couple years ago, the wind came. We have hellacious winds in New Mexico sometimes. And it flipped that little trailer over and it destroyed it. The top is on the bottom, the sides are bashed out, and all the stuff is getting smashed inside of it. And it's been sitting there for a couple years because I didn't have any way to tear it apart and get rid of it, because it's a big job and I just had no way to handle that. So anyway, a friend of mine came to me and asked me if they could help me by taking some of the stuff that was there, and we would sell it for scrap and we'd split the money. Well, the thing was, I really didn't want to sell part of it. I didn't want to sell the bottom axle part because that could be used for a porch for my other house. But this guy asked me like 4 times if I would be able to do that. It would help me and it would help him. So I gave in, and I gave him the go-ahead to go ahead and start by chopping up that frame of that trailer, which was about 2 tons, and haul it off, and then we would split that money. And then excuse me, and then he was supposed to go back and start taking the stuff out of there so that I can go through it, and we were going to sell all of it, the aluminum, the copper, the wood, anything that we could get off of it, the cabinets, the fixtures, anything that we could get out of it. So I gave in. It was the second week of July, I believe. Well, he called me a couple days later and he said that he needed to drag that over to his dad's house because he couldn't take all the stuff up there to cut it up at the house, so he needed to drag it over to his dad's and do it. So I said that was fine, and then I never heard from him again concerning the trailer. So he had done the same thing with my mom and at her house, and he had paid her. He had hauled the stuff off, small vehicles and stuff, and they had a couple of pretty good hauls, and my mom made a few $100 on it. So anyway, I told my mom I hadn't heard from him yet, and she said, well, I know that they took it because they took some other stuff, and he had told her boyfriend about it, and so she knew that he had taken it. So I said, well, he really needs to get in touch with me, because this was about 3 months ago, because I really need the money, and I'm counting on that for Christmas money, and I was hard up for the money by then, and I figure, well, he took it, so there should be some money coming. Well, he never did get in touch with me. So I'm going to read you the text messages that happened, that transpired this last week. I sent him a text message which said, where's my saved messages at? I sent him a text message asking to hear from him, and immediately he texted me back and he said that he was sorry that he hadn't gotten in touch with me. Here they are. That he hadn't gotten in touch with me. This is what he said. This is Josh. I've been trying to... Okay, the one I said to him before was, I need to get some money from Josh. Could he get in touch with me, please? A few seconds later, he sends back, this is Josh. I've been trying to. Shit keeps going wrong, but I will get you some money as soon as I can. I haven't forgotten. My apologies for you have to wait this long. Okay? Now, this is a kid that I have known since he was 12 years old, or 13 years old. He's about 30 now. And which is part of the reason why I went ahead and did this, because I've known this kid for years and I trusted him, and I don't trust very many people, but I did trust him, and I also felt that it would help him out, and he really needed the help at the time. Okay, so I sent back to him, well, I need it as soon as possible. Also, I need to know how much you made off of my stuff. The idea was we were to help each other, and I told you that I would be sure you were compensated for your time, but I can no longer worry about that or do that for you, which wasn't part of the agreement. That was a side agreement on tearing up the rest of the trailer and all that. Okay, so I said, but I can no longer worry about that or do it because I needed that money for Christmas and have never heard from you. How much did you make off of it? And I hope you saved a receipt or something. I'm very disappointed the way this has turned out. I really didn't want to sell that, meaning the frame, but the fact you would help tear the trailer apart made it worthwhile. Now as it stands, I pretty much got screwed and I'm not happy. Okay? Now this is what he sends back to me. Oh, and then I said, and also I need it ASAP because I now owe it to someone else. So as soon as you get it, I need it. I had to borrow and now I have to pay it back. This is what he sent back to me. I owe you $92. All that was made off of it was $184, and half that we hauled was out of my yard because all I took was the trailer frame. And the cost of gas my truck used to haul it, plus my trailer, my time cutting it up. So after I pay you, I'm the one who gets screwed, so you're gonna wait. It's not like money jumps into my hands and says here you go, because it don't. So as soon as I can, you'll get it. Okay. First thing is, this is, and I didn't send anything back. I did make 2 text messages to send back to this little son of a gun, but I was so pissed off that I didn't want to say the things I was going to say because I can really give you an earful if I'm pissed off at you, and I didn't want to make it any worse than it already is. And I locked these messages because I'm really considering taking this kid to court. Now the other thing is that there is no way in hell that that kid owes me $92. I know for a fact that that thing is 2 tons at least, and there's no way. And yes, we did agree to split it, but it's not my fault if he incurred time, if he incurred gas problems or whatever. He approached me and asked me to do it. It's not as though I called this kid on the phone and said, hey, do this job for me, and in return I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. That isn't at all what happened. He came to me. It was his idea. He got my stuff and he got the money for it, and now he has no even proof of the receipts. It's apparently the problem, and he's trying to tell me he's going to give me $92 for that. Now my question is, did I screw him or did he screw me? Because as he mentions in the text, money doesn't just jump into his hands and I'm gonna wait. Well, that's what pissed me off, is when he said you're gonna wait, because I've already been waiting for about 5 months, and the kid never even called me or let me know that he even had hauled the thing off. He took it, he cut it up, he hauled it off, he got the money, and months have gone by and I haven't heard from him. So this is my question. And one of the things that I prepared a text message that said, listen here, you rude little son of a preacher man, because he's a son of a preacher. How dare you speak to me in that fashion? How dare you tell me that you think I'm going to wait? I've already been waiting. And how do you figure that money doesn't just jump into your hands? Because mine sure as hell did, and you ran with it. And now you owe me. But I didn't send that text message because I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to dig a grave. I can get really pissed off, say some shitty stuff, and it'll make a bigger fight. So my question is, did I screw him or did he screw me? And my other question is that would you take this person to court for apparently $92, which I think if I take him to court I can probably get about $500, because that is what I would have sold it for if I was going to sell it. That is my asking price for that metal frame and all the wood, which is about freaking, how do I do it? About 8 inches thick was the wood on the floor. And the frame also was about 8 inches deep, or maybe even a foot deep, of steel all the way around, and the supports and the tongue and everything underneath a house trailer, which weighs a couple tons. So would you take this person to court? That's my question. Then, as if it couldn't be any worse, the judge owes me money. At the same time, I was clearing out my little store, and I had a beautiful glass display case, which I had paid $150 for, but I didn't want to leave it sitting outside, and I had no place in the house for it. And the man that took over my shop area is in fact the judge, and he's also he makes keys and he does shoe repair, because in this little town you got to do about 20,000 different jobs to even make a living. And he owes me, and I gave him the thing for $75 because I didn't want it sitting out in the cold and in the weather and in all, you know, and getting ruined. So I gave it to him for $75. I had it delivered over there. My husband and a friend took it over, and guess what? He broke the glass. So when my mom asked him about it, because it was something that my mom and I had bought together, but it's my money that he owes me because it now in fact belonged to me. You know, she said, well, I talked to him and he said that he broke all the glass in it, and you know, he's gonna have to pay to have that replaced, and so now he can't afford to pay for it right away, which, you know, 6 or 7 months ago that wasn't a big deal. Well, this last week I have called the judge 3 times without having my phone calls returned, and all I have said when I called was, this is me, and I'm calling to talk to you about the display case that you owe me the money for, and I'd love to hear back from you. The judge owes me money. Can you believe it? Well, he hasn't returned my phone calls, so now what I'm trying to figure out is, after I take Josh to court, should I take the judge to court? Because he won't return my phone calls either. And you know, the damn thing of it is that I am married, but I'm not really supported by my husband. He does pay the bills, but he doesn't give me money. I have to make my own money. So I've gone without money for months on end, waiting for all these people to pay me back, and I owe people money. I have a guy that works for me that I owe money for, too, and would love to get some money out of this stuff and be able to pay the bills that I have to pay. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck I should do. So I'd like to know what your feelings are on this. Should I take the judge to court? And should I take the kid to court? And if I take the kid to court, how should I go about asking for more money than he says that he owes me? Because he doesn't have proof of what he got for it. And the fact of the matter is that people have actually seen him over at my property after that. And I would imagine that he's probably been over there getting more scrap and making more money, which I cannot prove. But, you know, the thing is this kid is into me for some money now. Now, should I ask for the $92 that he says he owes me, or should I ask for the $500 that I feel that he owes me now, after having made me wait for July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months? So, let me know what your feelings are on this, and anyways, that's the drama of the crazy people that I get in business with. And you know what, I can only give you advice as to don't trust people, not even your damn judge, because if you do, you're going to end up getting it up the hoodinkus. That's just it. You're going to get it. So, let me know how you feel about it, alright? Peace.